Junior, you want to say hey? Put it all in his face. Speaking of Junior, in today's video, y'all, we want to talk about why we decided to name Junior. Why we decided to name him after me. Why I wanted him to be a junior, and the significance in one's name. And I was just thinking about like, I don't know why, but I was thinking about her grandpa. Her grandpa was a professional boxer, and she's actually going to a boxing class tomorrow. And I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, I would really love for him to kind of like take after his grandfather and become a boxer.
Not a boxing family.
So I've been thinking about like legacy and the people and values and things that I would want him to be modeled after. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was thinking about. That's what this video is going to be about today.
Yeah, and by the way, boxing was just random. Like,
Yeah.
in California, there's so many freaking boxing gyms.
It's everything out here.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
everything. Like, Targets, a Target by the DD's, by the Ross, by the freaking Walmart, all
Right.
in the same parking lot. That's
Which is crazy because I never once seen a boxing gym in Washington.
I don't think so either.
Like an actual boxing gym, like a gym that people can go fight tournaments in. Like, that's all out here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, so...
that's pretty cool.
So I have a little trial class tomorrow morning.
A
It
trial
was so
class,
random. Like, I'm like, you know what? They have a bunch of boxing gyms over here, and I want to improve my little boxing skills. So might as well. And I want to do a extracurricular activity, and it was either boxing or like yoga or something. And I thought about playing an instrument, but a few years ago I bought a guitar
I
and
forgot about that.
remember and I freaking bought the guitar, and I actually started like trying to use it and had the little pluckers and all types of stuff and was watching tutorials, but I didn't what are they called, the picks, the guitar
picks,
pick?
Yeah, guitar pick.
Yeah, and so I never really followed through with that, but
You might like boxing though.
I think I will. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I like it. Extracurricular. What?
Curricula.
Extracurricular. Conditioning.
Yeah.
What did they? What is that called? What was that word I used earlier?
I don't know.
What's that word? I can't think of it right now, but I'm really excited.
Yeah. So she's going to the boxing class or the boxing gym tomorrow, and I'm going to also tag along because I want to see, like, I want to get more information. Like, when should we start him? Like, how early could we start him in boxing? Like, are there tournaments? And if there are tournaments, how do we get him involved eventually? Like, things like that. Because we know, this boy's going to be big as shit. He's going to be buff. He's going to have really huge hands. He's just going to be big. I just know it. I feel it. He's going to be an athlete. And what better of a sport to get him started in than one that he's going to eventually learn how to defend himself with these. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Dang, still coming off of that cold.
Mucus. We are doing better.
I want him to learn how to fight. You know what I'm saying? I want him to have hands, and like, I think every man should know how to fight, and I would love to get him started in that versus football or basketball. Like, I want him to do something like that, not only just to do it and stay active, but I feel like
self-defense too.
Self-defense would be great for him to learn, and I feel like I would want him to know, like, I just would want to model him kind of like after his grandfather. Like, his grandfather did that, and I think it'd be a cool little play of respect.
His great-grandfather.
Yeah, his great-grandfather did that. Like, I just want him to know that he comes from greatness. You know, we all have flaws. We all had downfalls. Like, everyone, you know, has problems and stuff, but I really feel like I want him to know that he comes from greatness, which leads me to my next point. I said, well, it leads me to my next point, which leads me to our next point, and what this video is about, which is why we decided to name him Earl Jr., right? You want to start it off? Kind of give them, like, the backstory?
Why do I have to start it off? First and foremost, hi everybody. Thank you so much for the love and support. I was supposed to say that at the beginning, but we're here now, so hi.
What's going on?
Thank you guys so much for commenting, your positivity, your love and support, and it seems like we're getting new subscribers and supporters, even people that claim they don't like us, like every day. So it's so nice to have the supporters because at the end of the day, even if you don't like us, you're still watching. So you must not like us too much. So thank you so much for the eyeballs. But yeah. So his name, I think you could say way more about that.
I will, but the reason why I wanted you
I
to
will.
shut your ass up. You always gotta mock somebody. Stop mocking me. This is the last day we're gonna mock each other.
Oh, okay. Oh, that
Both
see,
of us.
See what you did? No, because you know I was about to say you're mocking me all the time. Remember when Junior was squirming his little foot? You said niggas.
Oh yeah.
And you
We
said
be
what
mocking
he-
each other a lot,
what
y'all.
he did with his foot.
They be doing dumb shit. But that be ended up being funny. No, the reason why I say because you were originally opposed to naming him a Junior or naming him Earl.
Oh yeah, I was opposed, and that's crazy because I had talked to your mom about it. I made a fuss about it because
A big fuzz, and we were arguing. It was an argument.
yeah, I remember exactly where we were. I was downtown. I don't know where you were at the time. You were on your bike. Did you have your bike? No, a scooter because I was pregnant. So, and it was whoa, that was
That
at
was
the
a minute,
beginning.
right?
Wow, that's crazy. So at first I didn't like. I wanted something new. I was tripping. I'm like,
No, you weren't tripping.
I was tripping. I'm like, I want something new, and
I-
I felt some type of way because as your name is Earl, but you have Earls in your family, but you weren't named after Earl that was like your dad or your
Yeah.
you know, so it wasn't necessarily passed down in that
Yeah.
way to where you were named after your uncle.
And my grandfather.
Yeah, and your grandfather.
But
So
I'm not technically a junior. I'm just named after somebody. He's a junior though.
yeah, so he's a junior, so it starts with him. So I was just tripping. I'm like, Earl's old school. Like, I want our son to have something new and meaningful. And at the time, Earl was always telling me, Big E, he was always saying, like, you don't have to name your child a name that's meaningful. You
Yeah.
can find name or meaning in the names that are passed down, like, you know.
Or
like-
just names in general. Like I never really. Don't get me wrong. Like to each his own, but like people that will name their child after like Bible names or something like that, they will do that to give their name meaning. Like what's one? Like Jeremiah or something like that.
Yeah, like that's what I was trying to say. Like, so what I mean by like, instead of always looking for a name that has meaning,
Yeah.
you can give a name meaning. Like, for example, like what you just said. Like, say a name, like say there's a name called Ella or whatever, and it means beautiful flower.
Right.
And so you're like, my child, I want to name my child after a beautiful flower, and so you name your child that. But the reality of it is, like, his name is Earl. He's actually Big Earl Senior now because Junior's a junior, and his name has so much meaning because he gave it meaning.
Right. I mean, think about LeBron James, right?
Uh-huh.
What the hell is LeBron? Like that's a black name. Like that doesn't mean anything. But he named his son a junior, which he goes by Bronny. But LeBron James, his name holds weight now because he made it hold weight, and that's exactly what Junior's gonna grow up to like see and believe. He's gonna be like, damn, like I come from an Earl. You know, not only is my grandfather and my uncle, they were some savages, they were named Earl, but I'm actually named after my dad, and my dad is doing big things. He takes care of himself. He's buff. He's intelligent. He's
Very.
rich. Like he's like all these different things he's gonna want to model himself after because he's a junior. Now, me and her was getting into it because like she didn't kind of like understand that at first. And then she was like, she didn't want him to have like an old school name, cause your name, you say your mom has an old school name. Which is her name?
Oh yeah, Marguerite. That's pretty old school. Imagine calling like a kid Marguerite. Come here, Marguerite.
But it's actually cute though because when we be in public or when you be in public with him, and she be like, yeah, this is Earl Jr.
Yeah, they love his name.
Yeah, I remember our pediatrician or our midwife. They used to say that all the time. That's really funny too.
Oh,
That's
no.
the thing I'm getting used to as well. Like people will come out, we'll go to an appointment for him, and they be like Earl, and then we'll both look. We gonna both do that eventually.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, we originally wanted to name him.
Wisdom.
Yeah, we want to name him Wisdom Jones. Wisdom.
And even that, the last name has meaning.
Yeah.
Because even that wasn't a thing. Because you didn't get Jones from your you got it from your dad. That was
A dad that actually was a dad that actually risked his life in saving me, like that
yeah.
cared about me. So, um, my mom originally named me after her dad and her brother, and she gave me the last name of not my biological father, but somebody that was actually there. Sometimes a sperm donor doesn't make somebody a father. I think about Russell Wilson. I just seen him just now with Baby Future, and that man is present in that little boy's life. I guarantee he knows that Future is his biological dad, but his father, he's gonna grow to see Russell Wilson. He probably already sees that man as his father. That's his father. That's the one that goes to his baseball games and his birthday parties, and he sees him love his mom each and every day. Like that's who he's gonna want to model himself after, right? So that's kind of like the scenario with me. My mom, she really cared, and she told me stories about like my great grandfather and how he was illiterate. He didn't even know how to read or write, yet he still was able to get a job and buy a house, and he knew how to fix cars. And he always made sure that his family, whether that be my mom, his my uncle, even my auntie wasn't even his biological daughter. That was technically his stepdaughter. My grandma had her after like pretty much on the side, but he still took care of my auntie like it was his own. So I remember when my mom told me that my uncle had got like burnt. One of his uncles ended up taking him in like a fire. They were trying to like do some sketchy shit. Anyways, my uncle ended up almost dying, and my grandpa went up to the hospital with a gauge and was ready to kill my uncle. Like it was just a lot of different stories, a lot of different history behind the name Earl, both Earls that like when I was growing up, I kind of felt like in power, like dang, like whenever I feel inferior or whenever I'm not feeling confident, I figure like I just remember like bro, I come from a family of strong men, so when in doubt, always remember that, and that's the same exact scenario with him. Like I want him to know I'm gonna tell him them stories about his grandfather and how his grandfather beat the odds, how he took care of his family, how he never accepted no for an answer. I'm gonna tell him about how his uncle Earl was family oriented and he would literally die for his family and do all these different things for his family. Like, and then on top of that, he's gonna have me as a father. He's gonna see me do all these different things. Oh,
Sorry, I bumped your leg.
you good,
better
boy?
better out on the floor than in.
Right,
Seen that coming because
right.
he looked like he was full.
Like I was saying though, he's gonna see his father. His father's gonna be, I'm trying to be the greatest Earl. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be the one, the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be the GOAT. I know he's gonna grow to want to be the GOAT. So
Did somebody say goat?
right, you are Earl Jr. It's funny though because the name is hella old school, and he's a baby. Just imagine calling a baby Earl. You know what I'm saying?
He's the cutest one.
But we originally wanted to name him Wisdom. I just knew we were gonna have a boy, y'all. Like I knew we were gonna have a boy, and when we had him, I didn't want to like. All right, before we had him, I was kind of opposed to naming him a junior because I don't know. I just wanted to start something. I just wanted to do something different. I feel like everyone who has their first boy is so quick to try to name them a junior, right? And I also didn't want him to bear the pressure of trying to be like his dad. Like that's a common thing amongst people naming their child after themselves is they don't want them to bear that responsibility of trying to be like them. You think about everybody who's a junior of one of these juniors of celebrities, they're always trying to be like their dad. We were just talking about LeBron James' son the other day. Like, bro, your dad's LeBron. You do not have to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a dad with the more resources than anybody in this entire world, but you want to play basketball? Why is that? He's trying to be like his dad. He wants to be like his dad. And the sad thing about it is he will never be LeBron James. Like, he will never be LeBron James. No, it's not going to ever be anybody that's going to be LeBron James. So that's why you end up having kids doing shit like thinking that they can go pro. Like, bruh, you barely were, like, holding on in college, but yet you want to go to the NBA? Like, He's trying to be like his dad. He wants to. He really wants to. That James name holds weight, and I didn't want that for our son, but I don't know. Like it's all like we said. I'm doing a lot of talking. You ain't really talking. My bad.
I was letting you finish.
I was just about to say like it's all about legacy.
You were excited. You can talk.
At the end of the day,
Blabbling or babbling.
babbling, Mayo babbling. Who said that?
Tariq Nasheed, Mayo babbling.
At the end of the day, y'all.
Mayo meltdown.
Yeah. At the end of the day, just like we start off the video saying, it's about legacy. And, like, I want somebody to...
Get that head.
Ooh, my head or his head?
Junior.
It's about legacy, y'all, and I would like for... When everything is said and done, when we're all gone, you know, it's about leaving a piece of you. Obviously, he's going to... Did I say stop mocking me? Shit, it's annoying. Stop.
It's about leaving what?
A piece of us.
What did you say the first time?
Ooh. These are finished.
They
They all loose and shit.
You said it's about leaving a piece of you.
I said stop. It's not funny. Stop.
Well,
That's the
okay.
last mock forever.
That's a lie. No, because you said no.
You good, little fella? We about to go back in the house soon.
My family, my dad's side, they're Frasers. My
Yeah.
grandfather, the boxer, was a Fraser. But my thing, the reason why I'm never really like, I've always felt some type of way about names is because usually my grandfather, he didn't know his father.
Yeah.
So his mom named him after another man pretty much because he didn't know his dad. And okay, I get it if the dude was around and stuff like that, but I'm like, I mean, now we're all named after somebody we didn't really know. It's just something
Right.
that's passed down, you know? Like, and that's why I
Yeah.
always, like, thought about how, like, you know, like, you having names with meaning, you know?
And she was also big on like the slave name stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't really like, how about you dive into that?
Well, you taught me a lot about that because a lot of our, like, us black people in America, we have, like, slave names that were passed down.
Yeah.
But America has been our homeland for hundreds of years, so those names are a part of who we are now. Batunde, like, I'm
Baba Tunde. We're like
the dude, he said, shut the hell up.
right, like we're centuries removed away from our African ancestors. So, like, we're American. We're not African. So why would I name my child an African name?
Well, yeah, that's true. Because we've never seen, been a part of Africa, been a part of that culture, our ancestors, but we have American ancestors, so we have the African ancestors were from way back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day.
You know, so we're removed from that, but that doesn't mean that it's not still a part of who we are, and we still can't go and learn about that
Right.
stuff, you know?
Not
So
saying that, yeah.
if somebody chooses to, like, they want to adopt their African culture from way back, you know, before we came to America and stuff, that's their prerogative. But
Facts.
I'm always, you know, I'll always be in touch with my African side.
Yeah,
and stuff.
definitely.
I've been slacking lately, but
Only thing I'm saying is, my bad. You said.
Shut
go ahead.
up.
You shut up.
No, you're good. Continue.
Nah, go ahead. You say you've been out of touch.
Oh no, I've been out of touch, but I used to read a lot of African, like Black history books, all types of stuff. Read about
Yeah.
African history and stuff, but. Yeah, no, that's people's prerogative. It's
Yeah.
up to you, you know. But there's beauty in all names.
It's beauty in all names. Like, all names are beautiful. If you want to name your child to, you know, just like she said about the African roots, that's perfectly fine. But my thing is, don't forget your American heritage too. Like, for us black people, like, bruh, our ancestors, our American ancestors, right? They had to endure a lot of shit for us to enjoy these liberties and freedom that we have today. So, like, if anything, a lot of us are out of touch with, you know, the ones that came before us. But if anything, try to immortalize one of those people as opposed to going to Africa and immortalizing a name that you don't even know. Immortalize as in, like, make last forever.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Yeah,
know
by naming him Earl, he's gonna immortalize me. Every time, like somebody sees him, they're seeing a reflection of me. And not only are they seeing a reflection of me, but he has my name, so he's gonna keep me alive forever.
Oh,
That's what I mean. So immortalize somebody that you look up to, whether that's a father, like whether that's a great grandfather, whether that's shit, a uncle or a best friend. Like you got some people who have best friends that passed too early that they ended up naming their daughter or their son after and immortalize that man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Because they really loved him so much, and you know they tell their child all the time like this person was a sweetheart, like he was beautiful or she was beautiful, my best friend. That's how you got your name. Like everyone has a meaning behind their name. Your name is like, stop. Your name is especially as a man is probably, stop. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Your name is all you have as a man, and
Your name and your weenie.
man, like that's all you have at the end of the day as a man. So make it count. You know, I want him to really like protect the Earl Jones name, the Earl Deion Jones name.
Aw.
I want him to really honor it. I want him to carry it with respect. You know what I'm saying? He's just not a reflection of me, but he's also a reflection of his mother. And hopefully, I would be honored that one day he will carry on a legacy by naming his child Earl. I remember seeing somebody that was like the 10th. It was like think about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is like, he's not Donald Trump. His dad, like I think he is Donald Trump Jr. though. But anyways, he carries the Trump name. The Trump name. He's been carrying the Trump name, and he named his children Trump. Of course, he named them that, right? But anyways, that name carries so much weight because it's a legacy. I eventually want the name Jones, and I want him Earl. Like, I want him to really carry that legacy and pass it on. Maybe one day he will name his child Earl, and then his child's gonna be like, "Damn, my grandfather was a savage. He did what he had to do, and then my dad carried that legacy, and look how good he is. Bro, I'm destined for greatness. That's what it's all about, right?
They not like us.
They not like us. Yeah, so
Right.
that's kind of like my ideology on that. As far as a boxing thing, this camera getting heavy as hell, y'all.
Oh yeah, you have it. You're strong. You
Man.
can hold that. I would have been down for the count.
This camera is super heavy.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
oh sorry. I'm just here in this like participating in this video so I can get some booty. So
You're finished. As far as boxing goes, you want to tell them about your grandpa?
no, I don't.
Well, I'll tell them about your grandpa.
Okay. My grandpapa, he died actually November 11th, 2024. I wasn't on good terms with him at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't regret it because it was a long time coming. You know, don't put up with abuse and disrespect for too long, and it doesn't matter who it's from. People are very aware of what they're doing, and people are very old school too. But just because other people are old school and go off of old school ways, that doesn't mean that you have to abide by that. Demand your respect. So my grandpa, we were really close actually. He spent the majority of his time, 94 to 204, he was in federal prison. So he got out in 204. I was about, so I was born in 97, so he got out in 204, so I was about 7. I didn't meet my grandfather, I believe, until my dad's trial in 09, because my dad was arrested in 2007. His trial was in 09, and Grandpa came from California to Washington to my dad's trial. Grandpa resided in California for the most part. He just came to Washington before he died, probably I want to say April of 2020. Was he even out here for 2 years? I don't even think he was out
about
here
a year.
I think April of 2023.
Yeah, about a year.
22 or 23. So he was only out here for like a year before he went back to California, and he ended up dying in Bakersfield, California.
Which is where he was from.
That's where he was from. My great grandmother, his mom, Yogi, her name was Vera Lee Frazier. Were named after her. Well, her husband at the time.
Yeah.
I think his brother Burrow was a Frazier, Burrow's dad. So I think that's who we're named after. So Vera. I met her when I was a baby, but that doesn't count because the crazy thing is when I was with her in the bed with her, my grandpa was in prison and he was on the phone talking to his mom. So they were talking about that the whole time. I think by that time my grandmother was blind from her diabetes and stuff. Well,
Yeah.
great grandmother. So yeah, he was a boxer, professional boxer. He started really young, and yeah, he went pro, I think, in his early 20s.
Yeah.
He was like 19, 20. Really, he used to box. I think that's the thing out here in California.
Yeah, it is.
Especially Southern California.
He was a boxer, and the thing that she told me, or the thing that he told me was when he was up, when he was professionally boxing, and by the way, he knew Muhammad Ali, like Joe Frazier, all them. Like, that's his era. That's the era he came from. What's the other big famous one that he got a picture with that was buff as hell?
No, I think that George Foreman. No,
George Foreman.
Grandpa was born in '49. He was born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So, I think that Muhammad Ali.
That was his generation.
My grandpa had a Muhammad Ali shirt, but I don't think he didn't box in the same.
Nah.
No, he didn't box with him though.
No,
So,
I don't think he boxed with him, but I think Muhammad Ali. Remember that when he didn't go to that draft shit, and he lost his boxing license for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so by the time Muhammad Ali came back, I think your grandpa was finished. But the thing that he told me that you told me a little bit of is like when he ended up having like a downfall in the boxing stuff though, but prior to that happening, he used his money. He did a lot for people. I think he got up and moved like your dad and your uncle as well as your grandma to Washington, and they were living in Queen Anne, which is an affluent area in Seattle.
Yeah,
and
he moved my grandmother to Washington.
Yeah.
That's how I think Grandpa came to Washington first. My grandma came, and then her family, like my uncle and a lot of them, ended up following to Washington. But
Right.
yeah, my grandpa pretty much started all of that.
Right. He started a legacy. Like, he did a lot. Like, and don't get me wrong, he probably had like his shortcomings as a person, but I feel like at the end of the day, he did good with what he had. You know what I'm saying?
I'm kind of sad he can't tell me those stories.
Yeah.
Because like that's literally like the source. Like he told me all those stories. Like they'll never say, yeah, your grandpa did this or he brought us out. They'll make it seem like they just came out here.
Yeah.
But my grandpa is the one that he literally
Yeah.
paved the way.
He
for
started that.
He did, yeah. That's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? And that's the type of stuff that you got to think about. Like, that's the type of stuff that you want to tell him. Like, you know what, son? The reason why we even got you to boxing, you had a grandpa who he did all this and that. Like, that's stuff that makes a young man say, damn, like, I got to win this fight or I got to be great, because I come from greatness. So that's the whole ideology behind the boxing. Granted, he's still hella young, so we don't know if he's going to do that or not. But if we did do it, that would be my way of showing respect toward somebody that came before me who paved the way for his children, and his children ended up paving the way for her. And then now he's here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Kendrick Lamar fan.
That's stuck in my head. It's all catchy. Nope. Yep. Paved the way. He paved the way for us.
I knew you were about to say that shit. He
Yeah.
paved the way for us.
Junior just be laughing.
He said, no, he didn't. We made it because our shit is dope.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Are we done, though? I feel like that's all I have to say about the topic. Yeah, names have meanings.
I have one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
They not like us. They not like us.
You're corny. All right, y'all. We catch you guys in the next one. Peace.